Right, hey, good evening everybody and welcome to Logistical Nightmare Racing. It is Tuesday night. We are coming to you currently from about, I don't know, 3,000 feet up in the air, looking out at the English Channel. And yep, here we are. We're hovering above the almighty Zandvoort. You can see the cars currently on their way out and doing some practice runs. It is the GT4 series this evening. Wet Zandvoort, as you can see. And I think we're going to have some awesome racing here this evening. So thank you for joining me. It's grand to have you here. So where are we? Holland. Let's have a look. The track map, most of you know it already. Clockwise, start finish line down at the bottom, and then a good tight windy driver's circuit with a couple of overtaking places. Difficult names. I'm not really going to try and pronounce the names during the race this evening, though, that's for sure. So we'll do our best and see how we get along here. Just give me a second here. Right, back with you. I don't know if I was with you just now, but here we go. Apologies. A little bit of a teething problem here. Holland, let's have a look. Yeah, okay, we were live just now. I just muted my microphone by mistake, but all good. We should be live. We should be rocking and rolling. As I say, you haven't missed anything. The slim free practice quali will be starting in the next 4.5 minutes. Good solid downpour, as you can see by the weather pattern up at the top right hand corner. Track is regarded as wet, 22 degrees, so it should provide some awesome racing for those that have good solid setups in their cars. Currently at the moment I have 18 drivers on track. I can see I'm missing our super fast. What is he? Is he a Scotsman? Let me just check on all the entry lists and everything. I see the Bullions are here. There's Mr. Fenter, he's there. Neil Brennan, he's there. Ryan Berries, Barrington Smith, Jacques Vermeulen, Kalen Mauer's there. Hilton Nickerson's there. And good evening to everybody on the YouTube channel. Sean Prinsloo's there. Good evening, Sean. How are you, my man? Sean Bucker's there. Hope you had a good day today, sir. Actually hear the rain falling. So good solid downpour, that's for sure. A lot of smack talk happening in the Discord channels earlier this week, so hopefully you guys have brought your A games. Mr. Paul Fenter, Niall Bullion, everyone's been chirping everybody else. So it should be interesting to see what the outcome is here this evening. It's Ridders. Good evening. How are you, buddy? Yeah, Sean. I've been watching the webcams at my missus' side, and it gets brighter and lighter every day. So summer's defos on the way for you guys. Good news this past weekend. We managed to book a return flight. In 6 months, it's almost doubled in cost, hey? From when she left here in October last year to when she's coming back end of April. So, yeah. Petrol price and oil price and all of that drama. Jeez, I've had such a brain fade here. What's his name who's missing tonight? Who drives in the V12, Aston Martin? I've been scrolling around here trying to find any posts from him. I've forgotten his name completely again. So, Ryan Barrington, 150.4 at the moment as we come to the end of free practice. Yeah, awesome, Sean. Looks good, man. I was reading the local tabloids about a possible 17 or 18 degree heat wave. I have a good chuckle at that. But I'm sure any warm weather is and sunshine is a bonus. Kalen Mawa out there in the big Chev. Oh, it's very out there. Lawnmower. There's a couple here tonight. There's 3 of them actually. Right.
Green light.
Green light. There we go. So we've officially started quali. 10 minutes, and it's going to be a wild and fast session. Wilfred Pierre Dupree is also in the big Chev. Mr. Steyn, Charles Steyn, is out in the lead. He's first man out the pits in his Audi R8. I saw the guys talking earlier about possibly a KTM being here, but I can't see one, so still no KTMs this evening. Alpine there for Mr. Ethan Rutter down in 16th, and the other anomaly being the Janetta of Johannes van der Merwe. Otherwise it's the usual. There's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 Porsches here this evening, 2 BMWs, 3 Chevs, 1, 2, 3 Mercs, lone Audi, this of Mr. Steyn. So there we go. And a Aston Martin. Neil Krenning's here. The Whaling V12 isn't here though. Right, Charles Stein about to start his opening quick lap. Target is a 150 or quicker, I think. So that's what the guys need to aim for this evening. Stream's looking good. I have fixed my issues that I had, so transmitting in full 13 megs a second, so you can go and upgrade your download speed to 1440p 60 HD. It should look crystal clear. Right, Mr. Stein through the middle sector, starting the third sector now. This is a tricky little end to the lap. Hard braking into a sharp right and then a hairpin left, with a huge sand trap in front of you that gobbles you up if you go into it. Then down to the last corner, this having been reprofiled in the recent build. So hopefully the track updates, if we ever get them, they will release the updates with this new added banking around here. But here we go. Charles Stein through the final turn, holding on to the RD3 there, and down to the start-finish line he comes. And what is it? Oh, this is a little slow. It's a 153.4 opening lap. He'll have to get a little bit quicker than that. Dupree in the big Chev does a 151.9. That currently holding on to the top. Where's Berries? Here he is. He's almost coming round. Oh, this is quick. 150.5, 150.2. So Niall Bullion had it for a second. He's only 3/10 off Barrington Smith's time. Porsches 1, 2 and 3 Chevs. Then the rest of the Porsches. Wow. Yeah, we're also missing a Mr. Chris Dos Santos in his BMW. Clearly he's not able to make it this evening, so 18 for now, unless we have some late joiners coming along. It's the Beefaroni Racing. Niall Bullion, and right there just behind him is Barrington Smith, who's pushing him along. Both of these guys currently 3/10 up on their second lap, so we should see some improvements and possibly into the 49s if the traffic doesn't get in the way. Oh, Niall is actually super quick. He's a 10th up on Barrington Smith as we watch now. Oh, that's put paid to that. Wow, he was on it. I don't think that this lap will count, and he's lost that advantage. Man ran a little bit too wide through there, pushing hard, but showing there's potential still, and there's a lot of time to be made up. And his delta's gone. He aborts that lap at Barrington, still on it, and currently 4/10, which is going to drop him into the 49.8s if he keeps this up. Yeah, it's you're right, Sean. The rain it makes for a very tricky condition. Right, Berries over the line he comes. 49.8 on the button. Wilfred Robson up into third in his Porsche. Porsche's now first, second, third. And I'll watch the deltas. Dave Young in the big Merc. He's on it at the moment. Currently half a second up, although he's 2.8 off the pace. So he's got quite a bit of time to find. But if he can get this round, this should bring him from 8th up to maybe 6th. 6th or 7th. Paul Venter also a good half a second up on his time, currently in 5th place, and that's going to put him up into 3rd if Paul Venter gets it round. I'll jump to him shortly. Here comes Dave Young, 7 tenths up, and he goes from 8th to 7th. Let's go and see Paul Venter. Here he is in the Banana Junior. It's the yellow Camaro. Porsche, 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 Camaro, Camaro, Camaro at the moment. Paul Venter, oh, just hanging on to that, runs a little deep. Oh, he threw away 4 tenths in that corner. So there goes his time out the window. So currently Barrington Smith a 49.8 with just under 2 minutes to go. Let's see who else is on a lap here. Gary van der Haar, here he is in his Mercedes-Benz AMG GT3 Snailian, as he's commonly known. And he comes over the line and goes one up. He jumps into... He doesn't. He goes back down because Van der Merwe goes past to 12th. Right, here we go. Niall Bullion. He is 3 tenths up as he gets into the second, the middle sector of this track. Now 4 tenths. So he needs to hold this together, especially at the end of the third sector where he ran wide just now. Right, he's now half a second up. He suffered time right there. He threw 4 tenths out the window. Delta's all gone. So he's essentially got half a second, possibly more, in this lap still. Not this one we're watching, but in his lap time, and he just can't tie it together. He has picked up 2 tenths, so this will be an improvement, but not enough to challenge Barrington Smith. Oh, drifting it onto the grass and throws away all the time. And he doesn't improve there. A little disgusted with himself and just decides to hammer the wall. But that is it. That's qualifying done. So who's on a lap? Pierre Duprier. He is currently a 10th up in 6th place. In his big Camaro. Dig that color scheme actually. And that is all gone out the window now. Charles Stein in his Audi, he is a 10th up. Jacques Vermeulen in his BMW, he's 2 tenths up. And he's desperate to find a whole lot of time somewhere on this track. I like that matte black with the gold front and rear and the metallic blue. Alright, Jacques picking up 3 tenths through the final couple of corners. Drifting the BM into the last turn. He's still 3 tenths up. Oh, he had to lift through there. Now he's down to 2 tenths. Is this going to improve? No, he'll stay 14th. His time does improve, but he stays 14th. So there we have it. Barrington Smith on pole with Bullion next to him. Robson, Mauer, second row. Fenter, Vandenberg, third row. Stand by, I'll be back with you shortly. I am glad to see the rain hasn't gone away between the quali and the race session. So weather, it's definitely a wet race here at Zandvoort, as it usually is in Holland. I have been there a couple of times. I dig the city. Amsterdam's amazing. Schiphol Airport, awesomeness. I could go on holiday just to that airport. So there we have it. Barrington Smith in the red Porsche up against the pit wall. Bullion next to him for the Beefaroni car in the Italian colour scheme. Second row up against the pit wall, it's Wilfred Robson. And next to him, Kalen Mauer in the first of the Chevs. Second of the Chev, it's Paul Fenter, the yellow Banana Junior, with Vandenberg in sixth place in his Porsche. Duprier in the next Camaro, the grey and orange and black one as they pull off, with Dave Young next to him in the yellow and silver Mercedes, and then Groening behind him, 9th place, Hardacre in 10th. Johannes van der Merwe in the awesome checkered green and black Ginetta. Makes a lovely sound, that car. And Ethan Rutter bringing up the rear in the Alpine. Otis, how are you, buddy? Thanks for joining us. Camo Draco, how's it? Pub races, that does sound interesting. I think you need to share with us there. There's the much tamer looking interior of a GT4 car. Not too many variables or knobs and stuff to deal with on the steering wheel. Let's go and look at the American muscle. Alright, there's a few there. More buttons. More knobs. Dave Young's Mercedes. Also just a set of buttons. Almost hardly any knobs actually. Neil Groening's Aston Martin. Similar, very little out there. Right-hand drive for the Ginetta. makes a nice little whale, this 6-cylinder. And Ethan, the Alpine. Yeah, I've got some knobs. There we go. Right, we're going to sit with Kalen Mawa. Get ready, folks. Hope you guys have your drinks ready. Jeez, I've just finished mine. Oh, I've got an hour. I'm going to have to put it on a just a roll stream just now and go and do a refill if you don't mind. Neil Pretorius, how's it, man? Thanks for joining us. Here we go, getting ready. Wilfred looks a ways back in his Porsche. Go, go, go. It's green. Here we go. And Paul Fenter's looking very racy. They're now 3 abreast as they head to T1. Eesh. Who's going to back out? Audi. No. Oh, they are 3 wide. A little bit of bumping and all the rest, but Paul goes right through the middle. And he jumps right up into 4th place. So it's Porsche, Porsche, Camaro, Camaro. We've got Vandenberg in that silver Porsche Cayman behind Wilfred, and he's also trying to hang on there. And then we've got Dave Young in the first of the Mercedeses. And look at that, the whole field's come through perfectly. So awesome racing by everybody. No issues anywhere. Great start to this race. Here we go. Oh dear, this Mercedes is struggling. Renier. He's showing a little bit of damage here. Oh, there was a bit of coming together through T2. I spoke too soon. I thought they'd all get through there okay. Is it Gary? It is Gary. Come on, Gary, put your foot down. Go, man. Just waiting for it to go live because I'm still on replay here. There we go. And a little bit of close-up as they come through the 3rd sector into the final turn. Barrington got a second but drifts it into the sand. That's not going to help him. Paul Fenter looking super racy in the yellow Camaro. He looks like he wants to bring the fight to Kalen Mawa, who runs super wide on the grass. Keeps his foot in it. And there we go. First lap done and dusted. Barrington Smith from Bullion, from Mawa, from Fenter, from Robson, your top 5. I will be super quick with the replays to bring any action that we need to see. Oh yes, and then in the back it's Johan. Let's go back 10 seconds. Oh, he outbrakes himself and runs deep into the sand. Doesn't collect anyone. But I think that's Lee Bullion going past. Excuse me, indeed. Right. Niall is losing contact with Berries. So what we need or hoping for is Berries maybe has a little bit of a brain fade and gets a spin up or a little bit of a sideways action happening. Here comes Kalen Mawa and here comes Paul Fenter. The Camaros are all over the back of Niall's Porsche. And he misses that apex and Kalen is like right here. Thanks for joining us on the YouTubes, everybody. Please don't forget, click on the thumbs up, the like button. It really helps the channel for Logistical Nightmare Racing, and it just helps to expose the sport that we all love to enjoy and watch. And then hit the subscribe button because you want to get notified when the channel goes live. So thanks very much. Right, Kalen Mawa trying hard. The car's kind of spreading out at the moment. Single file all the way down the main straight. Hilton, Nickerson and Gary are running. However, they're a good couple of seconds further back. Or was there more drama there? No, there wasn't. It's Neil Grenning in the Aston Martin. He's all over the back of Pierre Dupre's Chev, who in turn is looking at Dave Young's Mercedes. So these guys getting super close and personal with each other. Remember, there is a compulsory stop in this race. Some strats we will be observing. How's it, Desmond? Great to have you here, sir. Neil Crennan trying to work out how to get quicker here so he can get next to Mr. Dupre's Camaro, but he in turn is also looking at Dave Young. No change in the top five, as we can see. Fenton and Mawa still 6-7 tenths apart. However, Pierre Dupre is very close to the Mercedes, and possibly we're going to see a little bit of a drive coming down the main straight here. Dupre trying, but he doesn't make any inroads on that Merc. And now this is a full-on three-way fight for 7th place. Young from Dupre from Crennan. Anybody makes one little mistake and there's going to be position changes happening. Current lap times, FYI. Barrington Smith, his last lap, a 150 flat. Niall Bullion, a 151 flat. Kalen Mawa, 151.1. Fenta, 151.1. Oh, there we go. The Merc is off. Young running deep into whatever turn that is, and two cars going by. So, he outbraked himself or missed his braking point, and that's allowed Dupre to get Pierre Dupre to go right by, and Neil Crennan's following him. Dave Young settled, he's back on the track, and he has dropped from 7th down to 9th place. Right, some Stewards updates for you. Car 42. Paul Fenter in car 101. Vandenberg's Porsche. They were a little side by side at the start. No further action. Minor door-to-door contact. It was a little bit of rubbings racing. Now we have a penalty handed out to 211 for a spin, and he's been issued with a 15-second penalty. That going to Gary Vanderhoff. That was for the contact with Duplessis, I think it was. Yes. So he'll accept his penalty and carry on with his race. So there we go, all good. Let's go and see what's happening up front here. And here we see Mr. Barrington Smith. He's 3.7, almost 3.8 seconds now up the road. Having a pretty clean race with no one giving him any pressure. However, we can't say the same for Paul Fenton and Kalen Mawa. Oh, and as I say that, Kalen outbreaks himself into this tricky right-hander. Starting the 3rd sector now. He was right behind Niall Bullion there, but he's dropped away. Hey Neil, yes, the new pack update, etc., etc. I think a lot of people were hoping for today. I'm sure that the rollouts will start tomorrow already. But there's something in the background there. Hang on, Cal Vandenberg. Ooh, Wade Robson, Cal Vanderberg was all in trouble there, and Wilfred Robson has got super close. Dupree in the Camaro is right there as well, and he's flashing lights. It was through that little right-left hairpin. And this is for 6th and 7th. Dupree 2/10 here behind Wilfred, and behind him it's Neil Krenning. Some close stuff going on here. Yeah, so back to the update chat. A couple of the usual aliens and big ACC YouTubers, they are showing some details, I think tonight somewhere, on their various channels, or it's at the launch. So yeah, let's hope the update rolls tomorrow, guys. Neil Krenning, this man's looking very optimistic in his Aston Martin, and Mr. Pierre Dupree, besides trying to attack on Wilfred up ahead, he's got to watch his mirrors. Neil Krenning's got this Aston Martin right where he wants it. Happy with the setup and the handling, and he's on the attack, full on. Gaps in 1st to 4th, you can see all grown hugely. Oh, there we go, Wilfred's in trouble. He runs through the chicane, hits the sand. Doesn't really lose too much time because Dupree and Krenning aren't close enough. But Wilfred definitely outbraked himself there. And they're all trying to break the toe coming down the main straight. Vandenberg up against the pit wall. Wilfred follows him. The Chev behind and the Aston just hammer straight down the side lane. But they were right there. This is a dust for 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th is there as well. So guys need to be on their be aware. They've got to watch what's going on all around them. Through the fast left-right sweeps up over the sand dunes. And then this is where there was some drama earlier. Cal Vandenberg coming through there. All good. It's Neil Krenning again. He's super close. Look at this. He's putting the pressure on. Bullion, Mawa and Fenter, they're extending gaps now, 1.8, 1.3 seconds apart, so not much as far as a close dice up in the top 5, but down here it's all going on. To be honest, from what I heard also via various grapevines, is that the new update will feature a lot of the or a handful of new North American tracks and possibly 1 or 2 new cars. The one that I was quite looking forward to, which is the new Corvette, the Chev Corvette GT3, has been delayed and it's not coming out yet, so I thought it would be in this release, but apparently it's not. So I think there's a Porsche and another BMW GT4 type cars, and the new Ferrari, but also these new tracks, which includes I think Circuit of Americas, and yeah, maybe 1 or 2 of the oval type tracks, but the circuit tracks like Daytona, the circuit track, and such luck. So let's see. This is where Wilfred had an issue just now. Into the sharp right-hander, he outbraked himself and was in the sand. Kamara is right here. So 15 minutes of this race done and dusted, 45 left. We expect to see the pit lane light up in the next 10 minutes and onwards with the various strategies. Hey Brandon, how's it, man? Oh, that Porsche. Oh, that Porsche. Wilfred managing to hold on to it, but he was full yeeting it through there. Manages to gather it up for the hairpin. And here they come back over the fast windy bits through the sand dunes. Pierre Dupre now putting a little bit of a gap between, well, not really, but Neil Krenning was a lot closer just now. There's Johannes van der Merwe in the Ginetta, and he is quite close behind Jacques Vermeulen's BMW. Loving the sounds of the sixes. Yeah, Brennan indeed, super wet. Great challenge for these guys in the GT4s. Johannes getting a nice drive through the last corner and trying to hold on to the toe of the BMW, but he brakes a little bit earlier and decides against the challenge. Oh, Jacques going very wide in the BMW, managing to hang on, but he needed a couple of dabs at the brakes to keep the car on there. Go back to Neil Krenning. So Pierre Dupre has got past Wilfred. Kyle van den Berg coming down in 5th place. Then we have Pierre Dupre, Robson, Krenning and Young 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th place here. Neil Krenning now trying to work out what's his options with this Cayman of Wilfred Robson. And right behind Gran is Mr. Young in the AMG. So Robson's a little sandwich amongst all these big V8s around him. Yeah, Neil Gran, he is looking very racy here. He wants this position. Oh, Kalen Mawa in the pits. So I thought it would be closer to the 30-minute mark, but he is coming early. Possibly got... Here we go. Here comes Neil Gran. Looking, and now he thinks better of it. Falls back in behind. So Kalen Mawa possibly ran a light tank, or he had incorrect pressures on his tires, but he's in. So he'll be the first to have done his pit stop, and will then just be and Jacques Vermeulen as well comes in from 14th place. So there we go. Right, give me 2 seconds. I'm going to go and top up my cold drink here. Right, I'm back, and as I get back, we see Mr. Gran coming into the pits. And Renier Duplessis and Gary van der Haar down in 17th and 18th. So pit stops are happening, boys. Berry's up the road by 8 seconds, and then big gaps back to Venter and Vandenberg. So that initial 5 laps of close dicing is completely dissipated and watered down. So Neil Gran out in 12th. He is the net leader until everybody ahead of him comes and pits. And we'll see how many positions he makes up. Pierre de Prier still pushing the big Camaro, trying to close in on Kyle Vandenberg's Porsche. Right, so after that first stint of pit stops, Kalen Mawa clearly in the 15.7 seconds up the road, in fact, from Neil Crennan. So he is net leader. Yeah, hanging on to within a second here of Vandenberg. Just under 34 minutes, so closing in on the halfway mark now. Yeah, Sean, I think so as well. Kalen probably was in some thick traffic. Oh, I see Mr. Young went very wide in his Mercedes there around the T1. Oh, Kale going very wide there in the Porsche. So these guys are all kind of feeling a little bit iffy. The Porsche doesn't look 100% stable out there. Charles Stein comes in the Audi now from 11th. Indeed, Lee Bouillon, he moves into 9th place. Having a bit of a lonely race actually, but doing well. There in the background you can see Van der Merwe's Janetta. So he is 1.8 seconds off the back of Lee's Porsche. Yes, we have a pitter. Yes, Hilton Nickerson's in with his BMW. Bernal coming up to start passing the back markers. I think it's Vanderhoff or Duplessis just up ahead. Oh, Hilton Nekison, he's made a mistake. He was in the pits and he didn't do something. I don't know what the compulsory is, if it's tires or fuel, but he hasn't done it, so it hasn't registered in his official pit stop. So he's going to have to go back in. And Pierre Duprier now in the pits from 5th place. Hilton's probably wondering now, what the heck? Now, why isn't his pit thing registered? But it's like I say in a lot of my streams, things you need to do. You've got to do practice runs into the pit lane so you know. Oh, the idea of Steyn, he's struggling here. What's wrong? Charles Steyn in drama here. Okay, now he picks it up and gets going again. But yeah, as I was saying, you've got to do practice runs into the pits to see where your pit limiter is, and you need to know the race or league rules to see what you have to and don't have to do. So poor old Hilton's wasted a lot of time in the pits thinking he was doing his pit stop, and he in fact hasn't, so he's going to have to come in again. There goes the RD, he's peeling off. So the RD going to take his compulsory pit stop is Charles Steyn. Let's go up to 6th place. Dave Young looking at the back of Wilfred Robson here. And Paul Venter comes into the pits from 3rd in the big Camaro. So Wilfred peels off. He's going into the pits. And Dave Young running on. And he will now go up 2 positions, with Paul Venter also being in the pits. So Barrington Smith from Bouillon at the moment from Vandenberg. Young. And then it'll be Lee Bouillon if he doesn't pit, because there are 3 cars in the pits ahead of him. And he now comes into the pits as well. So Kalen Mawa down in 10th is now going to jump a whole bunch of cars. And here he comes round the final turn. And there comes the Audi out, but that's Steyn behind Kalen Mawa. But he's now going to go past Lee, Hardacre, Robson and Venter. There's Venter just behind Mawa, so the undercut hasn't worked too well for Paul. He's still a ways off the back of Kalen Mawa. I just saw him in the background. So we'll wait there. They go through, wait for them to go through sector 1 and update the timing screen. Oh, that Camaro was full on 2 wheels through there. So there we go. Kalen Mawa up into 6th. Paul Venter 4.5 seconds back. Here he is in Banana Junior. Ethan Rutter in the little Alpine, yet to pit, but up there now in 8th place. Pierre Duprier. And Kyle Vandenberg now pits from 3rd place. So Pierre Duprier, he's managed to get the pass done on Wilfred Robson. Neil Krenning again is just behind everybody here. Let's see if Neil can get this pass done. Right, 3 cars into the pits. There comes the Alpine. So Ethan Rutter into the pits. Johannes van der Merwe in the Ginetta also. So, oh, there's a whole lot of drama. Neil Krenning had to take avoiding action not to run into Wilfred Robson there. In T1, Wilfred was in a whole pile of trouble. This is Dave Young in 6th place. So he's in fact now just gone ahead. Right, so we've got Dupree ahead and Robson. And Neil Bullion is just coming in for his pit stop. So Young at the moment actually making up a good couple of positions with his pit stop, which he did earlier. He was behind all of these guys who were racing. So he's kind of filtered out in amongst them, and Neil Krenning wants to get back past this Merc after having to take avoiding action just now with Wilfred Robson. Oh, running deep again, almost into the sand. Yeah, Neil got a huge lift through the final turn, so he can't take it flat all the way around. He has to lift to keep the car on the apex. Oh, and Dave runs very wide in the Mercedes, gathers it up. But these guys having a whole lot of dramas coming out of into and out of T1. No change up front. Berry's still out in the lead and yet to pit, so was running clearly with a massively full fuel tank. No forecast change, it's just 2 rows of rain, it's full on clouds, typical Europe weather right now, so good challenge. Neil piling over the sausage curbs, Aston Martin bouncing around but getting through it. And he's dropping off a bit, 1.4 seconds now off the back of Dave. Right, down to T1. Let's see if there's any dramas down here. Wilfred first in the Porsche. Then Dave in the Merc. Everything looks good this time. And finally, Berry's into the pits. Kalen Mauer half a lap away. He's in the middle sector at the moment. Yeah, interesting. We've had a position change with that last pit stop because Kalen Mauer is now ahead of Niall Bullion. So it was a very early pit stop for Kalen, if you recall. He was one of the first to pit and has just essentially driven past everybody now while they're all in the pit. So huge effort and big undercut there. There you can see Bulion's Porsche 3.9, 4 seconds back. Barrington out the pits is Mr. Smith, and Kalen Mawa through the final turn. So just under 20 minutes to go, and he has the best part of there's Hilton Nickerson, and again he's come out the pits, and again it hasn't registered as a pit stop. Didn't Hilton have this problem at one of the other races as well? Because now again he's very slow and struggling to understand what's going on there. We can see him in the background. So what isn't he doing? Is he not changing tires, or is he not putting in fuel? Sean? Last laps for these guys. Niall doing a 150.5 and Kalen a 151.3. So Niall definitely the quicker of the two cars, and he is definitely chasing. Just waiting for some feedback on this poor problem with Hilton Nickerson. What is he not doing? Because he's had 2 pit stops and he still hasn't registered in his official pit stop. And he's going to run out of time, so he's got to do it again. I wonder if there's an audio channel. Showman, we need to help or explain to the young man what has to happen. Or maybe he's not turning the car off. I don't know. Where is he? He's having dramas here through T1. Kyle van den Berg flashing in the Porsche. Kyle in 5th, and Hilton just rather drives off the track to stay out of the way, and he's not having a good time of it in this BMW. Right, so he has to change tires. That's the rule. Maybe he's not turning the engine off or something like that. Maybe he hasn't got it mapped. Maybe he's probably coming into the pits and he hasn't ticked change tires. Something like that. Yeah, exactly, Hardest. That's what I think is the issue. When the menu is going to the pit stop strategy, either he's not seeing that menu, or he has not selected or ticked the change tires option. Anyway, let's see if he's going to come back in the pits. I will hang around, and he's having fun out there, I think. Looks more like an on-off switch than a throttle at the moment. Oops. A little bit too heavy on the loud pedal. He's really struggling. Is he coming in? He is. He isn't. He is. Oh, this is far too hot. Wow. Hammers the BMW to bits. Is he hitting the pit limiter? So now he's probably going to get a stop go 30 for speeding in the pit lane. Right, he's in the pits. Okay, car's in neutral and it's off. Pity the animation doesn't show, but anyway, we'll see what happens shortly now. Nothing much happening on the track, as you can see, massive gaps between everyone, so let's... Is the pit, is it closed? Oh, he's on dryers. You see things even I don't even see. How do you know that? I have no clue how you can see that he's on dryers. Now he's been here a long time now, so maybe he's retiring now. Right, Kalen. His last lap a 151.0. Niall a 150.4. So Niall is indeed closing in. That gap down to 3.2 with the... Oh, we've got a yellow flag here somewhere. There's a drama. Somewhere in Sector 1. Yeah, so I think, you know, somebody maybe just needs to get on with him in a offline practice and just go through the process, because clearly he's not sure what he's doing or what he has to do. Right now it looks like he's retired, so he hasn't come out again. Games? Yeah, but the game has to register your pit stop, Hilton, so we need to... Somebody will help you with this. It's not registering. I don't know if you did change your tires during the first stop. Yeah, we need a little bit of help on the pit stop strategy and how to navigate through those windows, man. Those menus. Right, let's catch up with 12 minutes to go. I've also got a yellow here on in the third sector somewhere. There's the gap difference. Wow, that's down to 2.3 seconds. So Kalen had I think he had a huge drama somewhere just now. And with 12 minutes to go, oh, I think this is because Hilton's BMW is still in the pits. That's why the yellow flag's on. Because there's a yellow all the way around the track now. Niall trying hard, trying to run quali laps right now, and very clean lines around here, and he is closing in on Kalen. It's 2/10, 3/10 a lap, unless Kalen makes a big mistake somewhere. So the gap down to 2 seconds. It was 3.8 just now. Can he catch him? That's the question everyone's wanting to know. Right, just 10 minutes and some change, and that is the gap. It's now 1.5 seconds. So Niall taking almost 4/10 out of Kalen on that lap. Lap times, last lap times, Kalen Mawa 151.3 and Niall 150.5. Barrington doing 49.7s. So he's up and away up the track, but we're going to see some pressure coming shortly. Niall closing in on Kalen Mawa in the big Chev. Here we go. There's ample enough time for this to happen. But like all these old legendary commentators used to say, it's one thing catching somebody, it's a totally different thing getting past them. Some traffic up ahead for Kalen Mawa to negotiate. That's the little Alpine of Ethan Rutter. He stays out wide through the second last turn, and Kalen gets him on that corner, and Niall gets through as well, but is super close. Kalen's starting to sweat, no question. The gap now is under a second. It's half a second. There we go, peeps. We have a race on our hands for the second place. Well, second and third. It's Beefaroni Racing versus the police. Kalen Pace Mawa. I think Kalen's realized that he's getting hauled in, and he's now put his foot down. He's slowly extending the gap a little bit. So Niall's going to have to work even harder and drive even more perfect lines to close this gap. We are coming, the pit lane's closed. We are coming to the end of this race. We've got just over 7 minutes left. So 4 more laps, give or take. Can Niall close this up and make the position change to put him and promote him into second place? What's the gap? 7 tenths was half a second, so this is definitely going to be tight. Agreed. Well, he wants that second place, that's for sure. He's not going to get, he won't drop off the podium unless there's a big accident, yeah. But he does want the bragging rights, and second place certainly is a nice to have. Now using up all the road and some extra to try and close in on this big Camaro. Let's also give Kalen the credit due. he is defending and putting in good lap times with the big Camaro, considering he was in 4th or 5th in quali. Nothing else happening up and down the field, unfortunately. Big gaps everywhere, except for this one. Last lap times, Callan Mawa 150.9, he subs the 151s, and Niall does a 151.1. So Callan was essentially quicker on the last lap. Three and a half minutes left. I'll tell you what, the time seems excuse me, the time seems to speed up when you're watching a closing dice happen. You're going, well, like, oh, don't worry, Niall, you've still got some time, and the next thing you look at the clock, there's 3 minutes left. So Callan holding him at bay now. Callan's last lap a 51.2 and Niall goes a 50.9. So he is trying, he is closing. This the second last round of the GT4s. Our last round in 2 weeks' time will be a dry race at Alton Park in the UK. So between now and then we've got Monza, beg your pardon. And oh, look at this, look at this. Callan getting under the feeling the pressure. And Niall is right here now, trying to cause the mistake. And Callan now watching in his mirrors as well. So this is the opportunity. Now looking down the inside towards the sharp right, trying to get into Callan's head, force him to make the mistake. So Barrington started his last lap, I think. Oh, Niall having a look again, trying to get into Callan's head. Does Callan outbrake himself? He doesn't. He nails T1's braking point. Round there and onwards he goes to T2, T3, the next hairpin. Barrington Smith into the third sector already. This is where Mawa had a problem earlier. And there's a slow marker just up ahead of them. Oh, that's the Mercedes of Van der Haar, I think. Or Duplessis. And Berries takes the win. Good man. Oh, the traffic is in fact caught. They've caught the Mercedes, and Niles all over the back of them with 2 corners left. It's going to be a long ways back yeet if he can do it. Wow, that's a close finish for second and third. Look at that. Kalen Mauer must be screaming in his helmet. Great stuff there, young man. Paul Fenter through the final turn in Banana Junior, the other Camaro, and he comes over for 4th place with Kyle Vandenberg in his Cayman Porsche coming over for 5th. Pierre in the other Camaro in 6th. Porsche, Chev, Porsche, Chev, Porsche, Chev, Porsche, all the way down to Wilfred here in 7th. And then Dave Young in the Mercedes-Benz, and he comes over for 8th with Neil Krenning, 9th place in his Aston, and Hardacre in his Porsche. Jeff Hardacre, he rounds out the top 10. There we go. Johannes van der Merwe, he comes round in the Janetta. That'll be 11th for him. And Lee Bouillon, oh, his Porsche looking a little bit worse for wear. And he's done. So that's 12th for him. So there we go, ladies and gents, boys and girls. Thanks very much for joining us here at Zandvoort in Holland. And we will be seeing one more time for GT4s, as I said, in 2 weeks' time. But I think for me, for now, thanks, Sean. Thank you. And thanks to everybody for joining us. And we'll catch up with you in 2 weeks' time again. So cheers all, and have a good evening.